Welcome back to MMAOddsBreaker. Today we have Marlon Vera getting ready to fight Roman Salazar, coming up here on UFC Fight Night 73 in Nashville. I thought, Marlon, you were in California. I didn't realize you were in Ecuador. You're actually still home in Ecuador. For us, we kind of know what training camps are like here in the States. Are they any different in Ecuador? Like, what do you guys do in a typical week down there training?
Okay, my typical week here in Ecuador is like kind of different because I trained just one time at Jackson's, but that was because the UFC sent me there for test me as a fighter to see if I was ready to be in the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
So normally I make my whole camp in Ecuador, my whole MMA career I do here in my country, but I used to fight out of Ecuador. Here in Ecuador we don't have MMA that is not popular as a sport. So my normal week is here. I train to Monday to Saturday. We race on Sunday. We make like three trains per day. And we used to mix. In the morning we do conditioning. At the half day we make box or sparring, and in the night we just drill technique, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, but just technique, drill and drill.
So your head coach is a Brazilian black belt, right, in jiu-jitsu, right, Frank Vidal, and that, but he's also a great, but he's also a boxer. Well, he started out boxing earlier in his career.
Yeah, early in his career, he started to do boxing. He went a lot to the Ecuadorian Federation of Boxing, so he had friends back there. And normally, I went to the Boxing Federation to box with Olympic boxers. I do sparring with those guys, and those guys kick my ass. But that's boxing. That is not MMA. But that made me a tough fighter. That made me a better boxer. We have to this is mixed martial arts. We can be only like just a jiu-jitsu fighter or just a normal fighter, like do something. You have to when I decide to do martial arts, my coach tell me, okay, you know why my team's name is 50-50, and I asked him why. And he told me, okay, 50-50 is because you fight in the ground, you fight stand up. So we mix it a little.
So, like, if I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Jackson's, I have a ton of training partners that all do MMA. That's all they do. If I'm in LA, or if I'm in Hawaii, or if I'm in Vegas, like there's a ton of training partners. That's all they do is MMA. Plus, there's boxing and Muay Thai guys in the area as well I can train with. For you in Ecuador, it doesn't sound like there's that many MMA guys that you're able to train with. So how do you find training partners that can mimic an entire fight?
That's why everybody told me like you have to travel to USA, you have to go there. And I said like I have 12 fights, 12 professional fights. I win my whole career. I have only two losses by decision, and my whole career I make here in Ecuador. And the first time I went to America to make a camp, I lost in a big gym with tons of guys to train. So my coach told me, "Well, you already make you went to America, you know what happened. So now you're going to be the Chito that used to fight in Latin America, the finisher, the one that was ready to fight. So I will prove that I don't need a big gym to win in the UFC. I lost my debut.
And there is something about that where everybody now, it's kind of shifting. MMA is shifting. You have to be part of this big gym, these big camps. You have to be part of these where there's sometimes up to 100 guys sparring at one time in these big camps. And I've always been from the belief you don't really need to have a big camp. You just need to have the right camp put together. And it seems like in Ecuador you have the right camp put together, and you don't need a big camp.
I know I'm comfy here, and my coach always says that the technique the technique is better than the sparring. You can do sparring every single day, but when you have the technique and when you have somebody to tell you, okay, move your hand like this, check like that, kick like this, move this hand, don't take like this the guillotine. That's what the fighter needs. Someone who be in your back telling you everything, every single moment. Like do this, make this one like that. You know.
That's actually really good. So let's talk about Roman Salazar, your opponent. Um, what do you think of him as an opponent? And have you watched much tape on him?
Yes, I watched a couple fights of him. His last two fights in the UFC against Yamamoto and Mitch Gagnon. And he's a wrestler. He came from a team full of wrestlers like Henry Cejudo or Patrick Williams. But I think I really fight tougher guys than him. But there's every single fight is different. So you can say this guy is better than this one. For that reason, I will be this one. That's not true because every fight is different. But I'm prepared for this guy. We have a strategy for this fight, and I'm coming to put a show in the UFC. I want to stay in the UFC, so I have to prove why I want to be in the UFC because this is my official debut in the UFC, and I will prove that I'm ready to stay here. I don't want to just make one fight, lose, and go back to Latin America. I make a hard career, so I know what I want, and I will put a show, and I will beat this guy.
Do you think you're going to finish Roman Salazar? Do you think you're gonna knock him out or submit him?
We never know what's going to happen, but I'm a fighter that if he gives me the chance to finish him, I will do. I don't like the just I will put you down three times per round and I win you like that. I like to go in there and fight. I like to put the hard work I made in my whole camp. I want to show in a fight.
That's Marlon Vera getting ready to fight Roman Salazar coming up here on UFC Fight Night 73. Marlon, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you're like I told you before, you're my first official interview from Ecuador. So I'm proud to have it be you because I do think that this is going to be a great fight. I think I've seen Roman fight quite a bit. I've only seen a couple of times of you fighting. I've only seen a couple of clips, not full fights. But I think this fight's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a very high impact fight, and it's one of those fights where you're kind of not sure if it's going to grab you or if it's going to be a fight where you're going to be stuck on it the whole time, like just wanting to watch it, wanting to see the action. So I think you're going to have a great fight coming up against Roman. I can't wait to see it happen.
I will go and I will fight hard. And the most important thing we have to put a show to the fans. So that's why people pay. People pay for a show. People don't pay for see wrestling or jiu-jitsu. So I'm 22 years old. I'm hungry and I have two kids that need daddy win.
Yeah, they need food. So, all right, thanks, Marlon. I appreciate it so much, man. Take care. Have a great rest of your training camp.
I appreciate it too. Thanks for the interview. It's an honor to do an interview with you, Frank.
Take care.